In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a quick demonstration of the MetricStream regulatory engagement management application for high-performing organizations. A user experience that's engaging, efficient, and personalized to help you to strengthen and simplify regulatory engagement. Now, this application has been designed to help organizations interact more elegantly and more effectively with various regulatory bodies. And this could be in the context of an examination that'll be conducted on them, or it could be an investigation that is being completed by a regulator, or a meeting that they need to support with various regulatory bodies. So this application provides the building blocks to allow an engagement to be created and allows an organization to define the set of activities that needs to be conducted in order to respond to requests that are coming in from the regulator. So various tasks and subtasks can be created, findings and matters requiring attention, MRAs, for example, can be documented, files, supervisory letters, and any documentation that is required can be uploaded, and the workflows around this can be initiated and triggered in order to support the various actions that need to be taken. At the end, there are dashboards and reports that allow you to get visibility into the interaction that you've had with the regulators, the ones that you have in the pipe that are about to be initiated, what's open, what's pending, and so on. The application supports the interaction with different roles. So typically you'll have roles like global user, country users who can get a more limited view into regulations and actions that are relevant for them. There's also a role for somebody in the business. So let's switch gears now and let's go into the live application to see these capabilities. I'm going to log into the application in a number of different roles. I'm going to start with the role of a global user. So as a global user, you'd be able to look at the interactions that you're having with different regulators at a worldwide level across Europe, Americas, and so on. As you log in an executive role, you'd be able to get a quick snapshot of the meetings, for example, and the tasks that you've been completing internally in order to effectively respond to these regulators. You'll be able to look at the status of your engagements. You'd be able to look at the number of days that these engagements and interactions have been open, the findings that have been shared by regulators, and so on. This is an example of what an executive view looks like within the application, and this is how from any of these dashboards you'd be able to drill down into the details of a specific finding or a matter requiring attention that's been shared by the regulator. And you can get a quick snapshot of who's working on it and whether you've been able to effectively respond to it. Next up, I'm going to log in as a business user. As a business user, I'll be notified by the application about things that I need to do, an action plan that I need to complete, for example. And these emails will have a deep link that will take me directly into the application to a page or a form within the application through a single sign-on where I need to work on an action, I need to work on an issue or a finding that's been assigned to me. So here's an example of an action that I need to complete. And this could be marketing collateral that I need to update and modify in order to align with the regulatory guidance that's been provided by FDIC or SEC and so on. Or it could be a set of findings that's been assigned and linked to my line of business that I need to work on. And I can grab these actions and tasks from my to-do list and look at the ones that are overdue or the ones that are pending and pick up something that I need to work on and complete. And these could be, as you can see, findings, action plans, sub-findings. In the line of business, I'd also be able to look at any issues and actions that's been assigned to my line of business and how many of them are high priority, medium, low priority, how many of them are open, past due, and so on. So it's a much more filtered and a much more access control view into the application, filtering the information by only the data that's relevant to the line of business or the lines of businesses that I'm a part of, and allowing me to quickly navigate to the set of things that I need to do. And finally, let's take a look at the role of an engagement manager, somebody who's in a region, for example, and who gets to create the engagements that are happening within that region, with regulators like FINRA, SEC, OCC, and so on, and who gets to monitor the status of these interactions with different regulators. How many of these are examinations? How many are meetings and investigations? How many issues and findings are being created? What's the impact across the various product lines that the region is accountable for? And if you'd like to look at more information, if you'd like to create a new engagement, for example, you have quick options to create and set up a completely new engagement from scratch, or to import the data through data upload templates, or to look at engagements that you've already working on, like the UDAP engagement out here. If you want to edit the data that you've tracked around the engagement, classify it so that you can capture an additional risks that you're exposed to, or additional objectives that could potentially be compromised, and this is where you'd go to make that change. So this is again how you'd be able to capture key information about an engagement, including the regulators that you're interacting with. You'd be able to map it to multiple lines of businesses and legal entities and regions and so on. You'd be able to define the points of contact. You'd be able to attach various documents, including supervisory letters, request letters, and various kinds of attachments that is being collected and that has been received from the regulators or from internal users as a part of the engagement. And if there are meetings that need to be conducted, the details of those meetings can be captured here, and the notes and the feedback can be documented as well. If you'd like to capture the relationship with your business dimensions, the risks, for example, that you'd be exposed to, like a reputational or a regulatory compliance risk, or the processes that will be impacted by this particular interaction with the regulator, or the business objectives and the process objectives that would be at stake in case you don't have a successful interaction. Those linkages and that mapping can all be captured out here so that you can get a broader sense of the scope and the impact of this engagement. So that's how this application allows you to capture key information, allows you to navigate to the appropriate parts of the application to look at information about the data that you've collected, whether it's information about your findings and tasks, audit trail, whether it's an action that you need to initiate, and the ability to quickly kick off a new task, for example, and assign it to relevant people and create a hierarchy of tasks or create a hierarchy of findings in order to successfully respond to a regulator that you're interacting with as a part of the broader set of activities you need to do from a compliance point of view. So that's a quick snapshot of how the application has been designed to help you to manage your interactions with regulators, including access to dashboards and reports that allows you to monitor where things are, allows you to capture findings, allows you to capture whether some of these are matters requiring attention, and track the overall status from a strategic and a tactical point of view using management dashboards. Thank you and hope this was helpful.